right now. And we are live.
Hey, we're live.
Yeah,
hey
welcome
guys,
everyone.
Anybody what? Mowgli, welcome to the show. There's just the two of us today, but yeah, this is the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, Adam had to go get his butthole checked for American travel. Boom, right into it. That's
Yeah,
what
rips and
happens.
tears. So we hit buttholes within the first 5 seconds. This is what happens when Adam's not here. Straight to the buttholes. Every time.
Yeah, that's how we do around the hood. Oh shit, Becky Buck Wild's here. What's up, Becky?
Becky, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for not having anything better to do.
Today will be an absolute shit show. We have no plan, no outline, nothing on my mind to share. So, you know what it's like. Adam's not here, and the boys will play, and we will probably, we're all about the buttholes.
That's how I imagine you'd eat one. I've never had one yet. You know, one day a boy can dream. Anyways.
No comment.
So
let's
then,
just say I've had my fill.
Oh, Jason I believe Tohi. I always get it wrong. Jason's here. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. And then let's get it popping off into the buffet. What you got tonight, Steve? Or afternoon for you?
Today I have, some of the usual. I don't have my top-down camera set up, so we got the Odin with the glass too. As always, pink lemonade from Anarchist. Awesome stuff. I've got the new, what the hell is this called? The Matto from Bendy Vape, of course, on the Geek Vape Aegis, and that has some stuff. Salted caramel macchiato from Barista Brew. That's my main banger right there, right now. I'm actually really enjoying this RDTA. It's quite nice. Of course, just up for review today, the Anani. Not really my cup of tea. A bit more mouth to lung than I like, but yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm going to keep using it for a little while anyway. As well as that, I've got this little beast, which is, it's a weird little thing from Yeehee. This was sent to me from Victory Vape in Australia. They're really, really nice people. And every now and then, not too often, they send me something just out of the goodness of their hearts. This is it's not a pod system. It's not a squonker. It's sort of an AIO. It's got auto squonking. The head is not compatible with any other device in the world. You can get a rebuildable if you want, or you can buy the disposables. They come in mouth to lung and direct lung. And yeah, it's sort of weird. I don't know if my mic's here. Let's see if you can hear this.
Is that the suction motor?
Yeah, it's every time you push a button, it's feeding the atomizer from the squonk or the bottle at the bottom. You can see right there. I'm not going to pull out right now, but yeah, it's like a squonker, but no push. It just auto feeds. I know they've got a bigger one that's more like a traditional squonker, and you can put your own atomizer on it. This one is actually really interesting. I've been using it. Here's the thing: when I get stuff and I only have a certain amount of coils or heads or whatever, I'll start with the one that I like the least. So I always start with the mouth to lung one and just use that one.
Get out of the way.
So it's okay for that. It's okay for mouth to lung, but I'm really looking forward to when I actually get around to reviewing it, because then I'll fill it up and do it all on cam, and I will switch to the more direct lung. And it's kind of weird. I'll film the table stuff, then I'll actually reevaluate how I feel based on how that head works, and then film my face cam stuff, because I do much prefer mouth or a direct lung, and I think this would actually be really cool if it can actually perform. Yeah, so this is a weird little thing.
Yeah, because we had the IPVs at work, and they did the auto squonk thing, and man, it kind of freaks me out, because it's supposed to automatically know when you're, like you said, when you're hitting it and stuff like that, It does it for you, but I don't know if I trust it to not squonk enough or to squonk too much, you know? That's just me being anal retentive.
Well, the thing I didn't show you, I'm not using it right now, but this thing that I've been using for the last couple of weeks, and should be up for review next week from Welland, it's an AIO. It's that kind of thing. Put my face under there. Yeah, see that thing?
Yeah.
The little AIO
like a
tank.
billet box kind of?
But, sorry?
Like a billet box then?
Yeah, it's kind of like a billet box style. It's got that little cubey plastic AIO thing you stick in there. Not really buildable or anything, but it's actually weird. I didn't know this had in it. I was vaping it, and I was just watching YouTubes or whatever, vaping away, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't doing anything. And I looked at it and said, out of liquid. I was like,
Yeah.
Really? I popped the thing open. Oh, I'm out of liquid. Filled it up, hit the button, started vaping it. It's not temp control. I'm running wattage.
Yeah.
But it's smart. It actually noticed that I had run out based on the resistance or whatever, and then just went, okay, fuck it, we'll shut down. I actually really, really like that.
That's some smart technology, man.
That is. I mean, I want to see that sort of go across. And yeah, like full anti-dry burn technology in mods. That would be awesome.
That kind of trips me out, the technology in that, like what you could use it for. And then I'm starting to think mechanic wise, you know. Anyways, I won't get into that. What is that all you got tonight then?
That's pretty much it. I've still got this giant baton sitting here, not using it as much as I was last week, but you know, just in case someone breaks through the door, I'm armed and ready.
You can hit them in the head and then vape right after, you know.
Well, see, if I hit them in the face, then this is going to smash. So they're going to get the bruise, and then they're going to get all the cheek cuts, and then they get the nicotine in the cheek cuts, and then they'll be all hyped up and they'll kill me. So you might need to rethink that plan.
I actually switched it up.
Anyway, what's in your hand today?
So I don't know if anyone.
What are you vaping on?
If anyone saw on Friday, I switched it up and I got a new device. It's a Desire and another brand. I was gonna look it up, but it was a busy day at work, so I didn't get around to it. But it's a Desire collab with this other company. It's called the Parrot, and it's stab wood or whatever. And it's not too bad, but it's a mech. It's a tube on a squonk, and then I got the dang with the Breezetones in it, and I'm liking it. I won't, like I was telling you before the show, I won't take it out in public or nothing because I'm still iffy about the tube thing. But I mean, it hits pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. But I got Anarchist
Nice.
Pink in there, and on the usual, I've been.
How you liking the dang?
I like it better on this than I liked it on the top side. On the top side, for some reason, I feel like I wasn't getting enough pull, but on this one, I am. But yeah, and then the daily carry is the top side with the goat, and then I got Rocket Blast in there. So, lemonade, Rocket Blast, mix them up. Not really.
See, I know a little bit of pushing, and then now you're on to two. I'm getting used to two flavors, two setups. When I keep pushing, eventually you'll be like me. You'll have a table and a shelf, and you'll be like reaching everywhere.
You know, spider arm.
What you want to do? You want to have the ideal setup where you don't actually have to carry vapes with you. Just wherever you are in the house, so there's one.
Ready to go.
Pod system in the bathroom, another one in the hallway, 3 lined up on the shelf in the kitchen, 2 sitting by the TV. That's perfect. That's
the thing
like
that
vape
leads
life right
Steve,
there.
that you underestimate me, and you overestimate me because I never leave my room. So.
Surely you have to go to the bathroom sometime.
I have the master bedroom. I have the bathroom in the room.
Actually, I got that too. It's perfect.
Just hit the chat real fast. We got Rob Gain hanging out, and then we also got Shoestring Tom. What's up, man? And then Mr. Jangling, Mr. Dingaling.
Jangles and Labworks in the house.
Yeah,
nice.
and Stinky Ass Labworks. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. You piece of shit.
See, I figured Jangles was a pro. Jangles would have the setup like that. Next on the desk, a couple of regulated mods on surfaces, the occasional pod system here and there, just in case. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, Jangles actually got that one tube mod we gave away. I can't remember what it was. I never remember anything. But he sent us pictures and stuff, and it's cool to see that like we got some real like, not that if you don't use tubes you're not a real vapor, but we got like some old school guys in there, you know. They know how to do the old school stuff, because if you guys are asking me advice on anything, number 1, don't. And number 2, I have no clue. That's why I do the show with people like Legion here and Mr. Breezetones, which is out today, you know, but try to stay away from
Getting his butthole checked.
Yeah.
Can't forget, he's getting his butthole checked.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but...
Labworks. Why are you swearing at us, Labworks? We love you.
Yeah, man. But, how was your weekend, man?
I spent Saturday doing fuck all, because that's what I do on Saturdays. And I spent Sunday playing with the computer and After Effects and visual effects, not because it necessarily needs to be done, but because it's what I do for fun. That's my break. I spend my week editing videos for the channel, and then I spend my off time editing special effects for the channel, just because I like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So yeah, I spent most of Sunday working on 13 seconds of footage for today's review. So
13 seconds?
That's pretty much 13 seconds. In my defense, using newer software, so I'm kind of getting used to that. And it's fairly intense software, so to get a good look at it, I can cut the resolution down, but to get a good look at what I've done, it's slow to play back. It doesn't render in real time. And then if I don't like it and make more changes, then I have to do that all again. And I had multiple layers of stuff going on, so each time it takes time. Also, my computer's it's a bit long on the tooth for some of the stuff I'm making it do, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I only have to do the OBS setups for our shows here, and I can only imagine what actual technical skill you'd need to do that editing shit, because like you got people assume, oh, you do photography, you do the social media thing, you must know it. No, bitch, I don't know shit. Videos, you're gone.
There's skill sets and skill sets and other skill sets, and some things are transferable and some are just, you move into a new realm. Filming is one thing. Actual effects, you have to actually go back to the filming and change the way you're filming stuff to do it right. And then, it's tricky. It's tricky. But it's fun. I enjoy it. Yeah. Looking at doing more of that over the next year. Hopefully getting faster than a day. Maybe I can actually make a whole minute length by the end of the year. Instead of 13 seconds.
Well, you got a lot more intense work, because like if I shoot a photo I don't like with the tones and stuff, I could change all that. It's a lot easier. Like when I toss it into like Lightroom, I could change how it looks. I could do all that right there, so I don't really have to do much. But like you're saying, if you're not shooting the right way and all that, you have to go back and redo it, and then you got to talk again probably, or whatever you're doing. And
yeah, the special effects side, it's you can change color and you can change the tone and you can do all that sort of stuff. Sort of blend things in. So especially when you're layering stuff like that's artificial on top. Like the thing I did today, it's all sparks and stuff, trying to make them fit in. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that, but you're right. Going back and refilming because you forgot to plug in your mic, which I've done more than once. That's not fun. It's the mark of a professional.
Yeah. Well,
now when you literally like have torn things down, it's like lights up. We're filming a build section. I've done that. Filmed my whole thing, done the whole build, juiced it up, sat here ready to go. And what I do, I film the table section, I edit the table section, then I film my FaceTime section. So I've done all that stuff, and then I've plugged the cards in, I dump them down, and I go to edit. And I'm like, there's no sound here.
Yeah.
So forward. There's no sound in any of this. Fuck. That means that I've got to strip down the thing that I just built on camera and throw those photos away, clean it all out, put everything back in the box, wipe down the table, go have a fucking coffee, take a shit, come back, redo the whole thing again. Not fun. Not fun at all.
Yeah, I don't really...
Not enough reviewer bitching.
That's all right, man. At Local, we do the unboxing videos, and we start messing with that stuff, right? So what we do, we use clip-on mics with the little box, the transmitter and all that shit. And we'll go through a whole video, and it takes me like 30 tries because I'm either swearing or messing up. And, we'll have to read... Well, so we did this whole review unboxing and this thing. It was like a good 30-minute video. And I was like, the best I ever did it, man. I killed it. Legit straight to the point, got all the stuff. I didn't forget MTL, all this stuff. And then at the end of it, we go and look, and the sound just... And then I looked down and the mic fell down into my fucking hamburger meat, you know. And the whole time it was.
Oh man.
It was bad. But
I got. Where is it? I'm gonna reach it. I'm pulling it over here. Yeah. Little mic there.
Yeah, same thing.
That's right over there. Yeah. Nice thing, but yeah, you gotta watch the mic placement. If you get it in the hairs too much, then the whole thing is. You want to be careful with that.
But yeah, in the chat, I just want to talk to you guys real quick. You guys can throw in what you're vaping on, but also, excuse my fat side neck. Tonight we will be doing a giveaway. We didn't get too much time to post it, but I figured we'll give away one of these X Minis from Desire. So I got a couple colors. I was thinking the red one looks cool, but you know, we'll figure that out. And then in the chat, Rob Gain says he doesn't trust people that swear. Dude, that's the fucking truth. I just feel like it's always more honest opinion if you get someone throwing a couple F's and shits in there, you know?
If you're emphasizing the point, if you're swearing just to make that part of your thing, there are a few people out there who... Yeah, I won't even get into that. And just for the record, I'm not talking about Sam. Sam is awesome. Sam can swear as much as he wants. I don't care.
That's who he is. But yeah, later on we'll do that giveaway and stuff. But otherwise, like, we're going to sit here and waste your time for at least 45 minutes because there's not too much going on in the vape world that's new right now. I mean, there is some stuff popping up, and I didn't have time to put a graphic on the thing, but I will be posting it tomorrow on the work pages. But there's a Maryland flavor ban coming up hearing in February, and it will be February 6th, so it's coming soon. Anyways, it'll be up on like the local vape social media, anarchist social media later on, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, other than advocacy stuff, I haven't heard too much new stuff. Maybe just like topical conversation. Did you see the whole situation with Trump and how he says he wish he never got involved in that fucking vape shit?
I saw the headlines, but I held back from actually clicking on any of those links. I don't know why. It felt like a bit clickbaity to me, so I wasn't sure if it was real news or not. And I just, I'm not going to bother with it. So I'm not sure if he actually said that or not. Did you click on it and find out?
I did. I read a couple articles because, you know, I like the advocacy stuff. I got to share it, you know, just to see where it's going. And from the context that I got out of it, it was more or less not like, oh, fuck vaping, just more or less of why should I just never even mess with it, just left it alone. You know? But
which, you know, it's fair enough.
You know, and that's okay, but it's cool, though, because, like, a lot of people won't realize that the fact that he brought it to mainstream, and whether or not that they like, you know, the person and stuff like that that's in power, we don't ever get political on here, but it's good that, because it brought it to a mainstream light to show, like, the hardcore supporters of that, him, to bring them to the fact that maybe they'll look at it in a positive light, because they did the closed cartridge ban, right, with the high nic and the flavors, but they left, like, for, like, people like us, this stuff open. It sucks that it takes away an opportunity for people, but it also brought it to people's TVs and their daily conversations, because there's nothing that goes on with the president that no one talks about at all, unless you're living under a fucking rock, you know?
I did also see an article this week from Business Insider, which was talking about how the whole thing with vape is turning into another war on drugs. And I read through that, and that was actually quite comprehensive and very non-biased, which surprised the crap out of me. Quite informative. Nothing that I didn't already know, nothing that we wouldn't already know, but as an article, very, very informative. And I kind of like the fact that, you know, that's sort of high-end. That's not USA Today. That's not, you know, the Weekly World News. That it's not Fox. That's high-end news. Is actually starting to turn the corner on things and come to a different perspective, and hopefully that will start trickling down to the rest of the news sources. Just that spin where we start realizing that, wait a minute, this is starting to go too far, and we're losing freedoms.
Yeah, because I've been screaming at you guys since we've started doing this and we've gotten into advocacy stuff. And, like, the biggest issue for me, don't get me wrong, I'm a vapor and all this stuff, and I'll figure it out if things go down. But it's a good open door for the government to say, oh, what freedom do we want to take from you next? It's an infringement on your right to choose something that's not hurting nobody else, you know what I mean? But they'll still, that's the point of it. I don't have much more than that, but it just opens a door.
America's America's had this thing since, and sensitive topics here, but you introduced a whole new government department post September 11th, and a whole bunch of rules were implemented that really restricted your freedoms. And there was a little part in there that said that they were only supposed to last for 4 years or so, and then they would renew it. You guys are still living under those rules. They haven't changed. They haven't gone away. TSA and full body searches and X-ray scans and a whole bunch of restrictions that you never had before. The world, that freedom of America that we all grew up with. I mean, I'm Canadian, so we kind of grew up under the shadow of that. That doesn't exist anymore. And more, they're just pulling in, and they actually feel that they can just go push things off the market or just ban behaviors. The idea that a school, here's the thing, the idea that a school can restrict what behavior you do out of school time, in your own home, on the weekend, as a school child, never would have flown in the 60s or the 70s, early 80s, even then. You couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Now you're getting kids kicked out of school for what they say on Facebook on a Saturday.
Yeah. And you're paying for that through your tax-funded dollars, too, and everything that's going on, like us here, even, with the vape stuff. You know, and it's fucking terrible to show that people are just okay with this because we've reached a place of complacency with modern society to where we're like, oh, well, if these people that seem to be in a position of power think it's a bad idea, maybe it is. And then they let them make the decisions for you, and that's what's lost on us is critical thinking. You know, think for yourself, does it apply to you or not? Is it something that can benefit you or not? And instead, we've grown so used to letting everyone else handle it so that we feel less responsible and we don't take the blame for it in case it goes bad, because we could say, oh, this government group said this or these people said this. You know, and then it's because it's a group mentality.
I mean, this is a weird thing, because look, I consider myself to be on the left side of things. I'm not a right-winger, but I'm also a big freedom guy. And I'm seeing things happen in this world. It's like, it's just this weird modern world we're in. People get caught and filmed all the time. We're seeing people getting filmed saying things that may be objectionable and getting fired from their job within 24 hours. And it makes me wonder. So, yeah, you went somewhere and you said something awful to other people, and maybe you should be held accountable for what you fucking do and what comes out of your mouth. But if you're not wearing your work shirt, if you're not in your workplace, if you're not representing 7-Eleven or wherever you fucking work, why are they firing you? What right do they have to restrict what you do on the weekend? If they can fire you for being a racist twat out somewhere, then they can fire you for being part of a book group that reads books that the boss doesn't like, or going to a bondage sex party every second Saturday of the month because that's what you're into. Yeah. What fucking business is it of your employer what you do on your time with no label, no hat, no connection to the business? That really, really bothers me, like right down to the core. And it's one of those weird things because I'm watching people be complete racist twats online. Yeah. These little videos, they're yelling at people in Walmart and stuff. And it's fine. Yeah, you should be called to account for that. But that's got nothing to do with your employment. Why are people getting fired for it? If they do it at work, then fine. But, you know... Your personal freedom is being taken away. And that's exactly what's going on. Yeah. And that's the worst part. Is it started out, you know, with this corporate mindset with, like, I'm not going to speak too much on it because I'm not educated enough to give you guys a clear, concise point, but it kind of started with the Ford business model where he would provide for his people by giving them their homes, giving them communities to live in, as long as they worked for him and stuff like that. And people were like, oh, it's easier for us because it's being provided to us, so of course we'll play by your rules. But the rules have slowly bled over more so into the fact of it being convenient to more of a control thing. So basically we're just being corporatized, and everything you do is now scrutinized. And don't get me wrong, if you're a racist piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. You shouldn't be doing that stuff. At least that's what I believe. But then again, who are you going to tell who to believe and what not to believe? If you're not hurting nobody and stuff like that, that's cool. If you're an asshole that's racist, I want to kick you in the teeth. But my point being is, like you said, if you go out and you do like if you're in a bondage or you go out and do things like that, whatever, that's nobody else's business.
And now we've just corporatized so much of the modern world that we think that, number one, our opinions should supersede how anyone else believes, which is fucking stupid, thanks to the internet, the greatest and the worst thing that happened to humanity. And the fact that, these other people think because they're in a certain position of power, no matter how they got to that position of power, have more say than you because they're there. When half of the people that run these companies are fucking idiots.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. Sorry to get all ranty tonight, guys. Just,
No worries. No worries. When something's on your mind, it's on your mind. It's better to let it out. Yeah. Like I said, that thing's been bothering me. Man, for the last decade, I'm just watching it grow and grow and grow. It's like the government has some huge morality clause against you that you have to live up to, but they're changing the terms of the contract every day. You can't say certain words. You can't be this way or that way. Yeah, it's just weird. And when things that are not, when you're paying for it with things that are not relevant, such as what you do on the weekend should have nothing to do with your work as long as it's not brought into your work.
Sorry, but yeah.
I agree, Labworks. There's nothing wrong with wearing PVC and carrying a riding crop unless it's summer in Australia and you're out in the sun, because that's fucking stupid. You will die. You'll die of sweat.
It's not the same thing as a latex suit, but I can speak to that. You'll probably die. When I was in 8th grade out here in Las Vegas, we had this little graduation trip we'd take right to the local water park. It's called Wet n Wild on the Strip. So anyways, I was a little self-conscious about myself, but I had a wetsuit from California when my little brother's family would take me with them to California. They bought me a wetsuit to learn how to surf. Anyway, so I wore it on the trip thinking, I'm going to cover up, blah, blah, because I was self-conscious. And then I was a really skinny kid. And then I wore it to school, and I wore it the whole day, and I almost died of heat exhaustion because I sweated it out. It really has nothing to go with nothing more than latex suits. But make sure you get something that breathes. If you're going to be a freak right.
When I moved to Sydney, so this is like mid to late 80s, the skinny young thing, and I used to wear black jeans, Doc Martens, black t-shirt, big leather jacket. My hair was up like that. And I used to walk everywhere. It's like, I need to go get a new guitar. It's 3 suburbs that way. I'd fucking walk there. And I'd buy a guitar, put it under my arm, I'd walk back. And that's, out all day. With a big leather jacket in the middle of Australian summer, just sweating. But it didn't seem to bother me, just the way things were. Now I'm sitting here, I've got the air conditioner on, I've got a fan on the floor, I'm wearing boxer shorts under here, you guys can't see. It's not the hottest day in the world, but I just can't deal with that anymore, that whole leather thing. Labworks, you're right, Hellfire Club is much cooler than the Blue Oyster Club. Especially if you're talking about the X-Men Hellfire Club, because I'm a total geek.
In the chat, Shoestring Tom says, there's a principle which is a bar against all information, proof against all argument. It cannot fail to keep a man and cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is the contempt prior to investigation.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I follow that. I'm not that smart.
I get what he's saying. 20 hole dogs with spike bracelets. Yeah, that was my crowd, Becky. Absolutely.
I remember. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there are some pictures out there where my hair was straight up like that. There's pictures of my hair like that. There's pictures of my hair like this. They pretty much docs. I'm still wearing docs.
Yeah, I remember it was around the same time as that water park trip. Anyways, I was going real hard through my phases, and so I was Hot Topic was a real easy place to get your gear because they used to have all the goth pants, the trip pants, and all that shit. Anyways, I would still skateboard, but I'd wear the Doc Martens that went all the way up to your knee but zipped off in sections, and then they were blood red, and I still tried to skate to school in those. I made it happen. Could I do anything worthy? No. But I would skate to school with my hair in Liberty spikes, like my profile picture on Facebook, all gross looking, and then with those Doc Martens and the jeans and all that. I was trying way too hard. Way too hard.
I tried skating with Docs. It was not a good scene. They're just not flexible enough. There's a reason why Vans and Converse replace Docs in the American punk scene.
Yeah.
It's all to do with skating.
Functionality. But then again, I can't say I ever liked Converse either. I hated those shoes, man. I got one pair, and I hated them because I'm not flat-footed, and I feel like you have to be flat-footed to wear them.
I like Converse. I found they're really comfortable. I always liked shoes that have ankle support, so Docs and Converse. Anything that comes up around the ankle kind of snugs there.
Yeah.
Once you get used to wearing them, and you wear that all the time, anytime you put on like regular shoes, your ankles feel bare. It's just really weird.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of high tops. Like, I've been doing some manual labor at work, but I've been wearing my combat boots I wore overseas and shit like 9 years ago all the time. These are the most comfortable fucking shoes I've ever had. They're going to fall apart soon, but above the ankle and all that.
Duct tape and rubber cement. Just coat the outside.
Especially on work boots, because who cares?
Yeah.
But, we saw that, what'd you release? It was the Minikin today, right? The video on that one?
No. It was the Anani.
Anani, that's right. How you liking it? Well, I gotta watch the video for that. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm not fucking giving it away. Watch the video. But you mentioned the Minikin. I haven't heard from them. Asmodeus are weird. Like, sometimes they'll get in touch with me and they'll send me stuff, like a t-shirt. And then I won't hear from them for ages and stuff will miss me. But they came out with was it Minikin Nano? Microkin? I can't remember what it's called. So they've done a Minikin as a pod system. So I'm kind of really curious about that.
That's their first, isn't it?
No, they've done a ton of pod systems, but most of them are...
In the Minikin line?
Yeah, in the Minikin line. Most of their pod systems are sort of Joule style.
Gotcha.
A battery and a pod, draw to inhale, boring shit. I'm not really big on those. Oh, look, I do have one right here. That one. And they work, they're okay, but, they're not that exciting. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I really like the Minikin line. I've always liked what they've done with that. They've always been sturdy, solid, really good looking, really comfortable to use. And I've had most of them through the years. Never had the Kodama ones, and I think I never had the 2.
Well, the Kodama ones, man, alone are like fucking $600, man.
Yeah, but they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful.
Would you actually use it, or would it be a shelf?
I'd use that one.
Yeah?
But I'd probably refinish it. What I've noticed in most of the reviews of their Kodamas is that, and this is where you get into that high-end stuff that I don't get a lot of, but when you see reviews of like really top-notch high-end stab wood, the finish is just flawless. Whether it's a matte finish, an oil finish, or a gloss finish, the finish is flawless. But when you see the Kodamas, they're a little bit rougher. They are more of a mass market product, and they don't have that individual hand-on attention to detail, so they're not quite as nice. But if you take your time, strip it apart, pull that wood block off, you can bring them out a bit more. Just got to do that work yourself. So that's probably where I'd be with the Minikin. One of the first things I do with it is, let's strip it down and get some microcloth in there.
Yeah. I know that they're real pretty looking. I photographed them a few times, and they always photograph very well. They're really good looking, and the boss used one for a while, and I just was like, man, I just don't know if I'd want to walk around. I mean, it's coming from a guy that spent $600 on a watch that tells me how fat I am. I have no room to talk, but I don't know if I'd be able to walk around with a fucking $300 mod, I
got one of those watches. It wasn't $600. They actually sell for $79. So it's the dirt cheap version. It's not actually a smartwatch, but it will tell it tells the time. It's got a stopwatch. It'll actually control the camera on my phone, so it's got a shutter release.
That's cool.
It's got a heart rate thing, which is what I was interested in. And it does a sleep monitor thing. It'll tell you how good your sleep was, as if I couldn't figure that out myself. But I was like wearing it. I got it free. It came with it was a rebate for a little mobile router that I got, and I'm wearing it. And the stupid thing freaking lights up. Like it goes to sleep, and then when you touch the button, it lights up, and you can see what's going on. It's pretty fucking bright, right? Except I'm sleeping, and my wife's like punching me. Your fucking watch is like waking up every like 5 minutes.
The light.
And I'm lying like got my arm like this next to her face, so it's like right on her, and then I'd roll over and go to sleep, and then move and go like this, right at her face again. She's like, yeah, so I took it off through the corner. Where lives in the corner now?
Yeah, I've had the smartwatch for a few years now, and it always tells me like it's like, oh, where when you're sleeping, so we can track that too and all that. I'm like, well, when the fuck am I gonna charge it? Like,
see, a smartwatch should be a little bit better because like my phone, I've got Do Not Disturb, and it shuts off all notifications at bedtime, and it dims the light in the evening and all that stuff. So I assume a smartwatch will do the same kind of thing. It's like, don't fucking bother me, I'm sleeping time.
yeah.
You know, whereas this thing was just, it was fun to play with for a day or two, but I don't think I'm going to wear it that much. I might give it to the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent a bunch of money on this. It's good for when I get a text message just to pull my phone out. I'm like, oh yeah, ignore.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that watch hooks up to notifications on my phone, so it gets the text messages and it gets all the. So every time I get an Instagram, my wrist will vibrate, and every time I get Facebook message, wrist will vibrate, and that was kind of cool because wouldn't give me the whole message of it. Oh, I'll check my phone now. It will let me know. That's kind of cool. And again, all night long while I'm sleeping. Zzz, zzz, zzz. What the fuck? It needs to be just tweaked. I need to be able to turn those things off while I'm sleeping.
I want to address the chat real fast because apparently it's turned into a Tinder. First, Labberg said that the piano finish Kodoma looks badass. He was addressing that to you. And then also, Labworks is trying to get pictures of Becky Buckwald's butthole, I believe. So yeah, good things
Watch
happen.
out there. If I know Becky, if I suspect what I suspect, she's the kind of person that would give you the post-poop picture. Right, this one's just for you. Haven't wiped yet.
She also says in the chat she has Dungeons and Dragons on her watch, and I don't even know how you would enjoy that. The screen's so
small.
How
the fuck do you play a game on your watch? I mean, unless you're talking about one of those old Casio,
the calculator ones.
Thing.
I know that when I first got the watch, it's an Apple Watch. They had some games on there, and I tried to check them out, and it's really annoying. It's a small screen, and then it's like, oh, you can also do it on your phone, and I'm like, why would I play on my watch? I can play on my phone. And she also says you know her very well because that's probably exactly what she's going to do.
See, if you had the controls on your watch and you could look at it on your phone, you could put your phone there and you could just move back and forward and tap to fire. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, like a VR kind of thing. Actually, that brings up. Have you ever done the VR stuff, man?
Not the more recent stuff, no.
I tried it not that long ago. A friend had one, and that shit made me sick. And I don't get motion sickness.
My wife's got ear issues, and any kind of motion or VR really bothers her. But I haven't had any problem with it in the past. It's just I have a choice, gaming or gear, and
gear.
I don't have the budget for both, so I've seen the price of those setups, and just no. I think the last one I did, it came free with the phone, and you put the phone in it and wore the phone on your face. And that was kind of like, oh look, I'm in India. Okay, so I've looked around India. Yeah, that was fun. I'm not doing that again.
What do they call them? I know that you remember. They definitely had them when you were a kid. Because they were around when I was a kid. The little ones that where you look in it, and it's not a kaleidoscope, but it had the pictures and stuff in it.
Oh, fucking that thing.
Yeah, and you can switch out the pictures.
But I can't even remember what that's called.
No, but the reason why I bring that up is I follow these videos all the time, and it's VR, VR gaming, because I do the Xbox thing. But the only reason why I'd want to get a VR, and I want one because of this, purely just because of this, that they have these chat rooms you go into, right? And it's all themed different, where you design what your avatar looks like, and all this stuff. and you go in, it's like a bar or a restaurant or like a grocery store, and other people are there so they can act like they're grocery shopping. But usually there's this group of guys that go in and they just end up getting like bar fights in the VR and stuff like that. And they ended up like beating each other up and throwing people off of buildings in the VR and all this. And I think that's hilarious. I don't know why. I just think that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then they got it in the chat. Jingles did and Becky, Viewmaster.
Viewmaster.
Yeah.
See, the only thing that would really tempt me to jump into VR at this point is the greatest game of all time that I have been waiting for the next sequel for, what is it, 13 years now, is Half-Life. I've been waiting for Half-Life 3 forever, and they finally announced that they're doing it. It's coming out. It's not really Half-Life 3, but it's in that franchise, and it's VR only. And they've done that on purpose because they control the hardware as well as the software. So, they know that we've been waiting. We've been waiting for Half-Life 3. So offering it to us means we're going to buy the. And that's the only thing that would tempt me to go for VR. But it's also the thing that's pissed me off enough to make me not even want to put money into it. It's like.
Now you feel jaded?
Just dangling that in front of me to make me buy your hardware, and I'm not going to fucking give in. I'll just watch walkthroughs on YouTube.
Shoot, what, Half-Life, it's been like, 8 years now? Over 8 years.
It's been over 8 years. It's been over a decade since the last one. See, they piss me off. They go to Half-Life 1, decent game for its time. Half-Life 2, fucking phenomenal. And when Half-Life 2 came out, that's when they just introduced Steam. It was brand new.
Yeah.
So you could buy it on disc, or you could do the Steam thing. And if you bought it on disc, you connected to your Steam. And shortly after, within the first year or two, they started releasing chapters, 2.1, 2.2, and I think they did 2.3. And they had a storyline, and they planned it. And it was looking really, really cool. It's like, rather than wait a whole year for a massive game, they've got all the hardware and all the structure of the game. We get these chapters for this ongoing thing. It was really, really cool. And then they just stopped. And the worst part is, they had Portal, which was also a really cool game, and that got bundled with Half-Life 2. Then they put out Portal 2, which was a really cool game. And they're in the same universe. They're in different time frames, but they're in the same universe.
Yeah.
And the main portal gun that you use in Portal 2, or Portal, is the exact same model that they used for the gravity gun that they use in Half-Life. So we got some crossover stuff going there. And in Half-Life 2, they mentioned a ship. No, Portal 2, they mentioned a ship that was a research vessel. And in the very last ending of the last episode of Half-Life, they mentioned that that ship's been discovered. It's out there. We need to go find out what's going on. So we were looking at like Portal Half-Life crossover shit going on. And then that was it.
Yeah, the tick in Shannon in the chat says, he says Half-Life 3 will never be coming because they don't know how to end it.
Well, like I said, they actually have announced it's not Half-Life 3, but it's whatever her name is, which I've lost the name, but the female character that was in Half-Life 2 and all those, it's another continuation of that with her. So it's kind of a something. It's not 3, but it's something.
It's like a chapter.
Yeah. But the other thing is it's not that they don't know how to finish it, it's that they've left it so long, and there are so many of us online just constantly. Like it's beyond meme level.
You're not gonna please everyone anymore.
You can't make a game good enough.
Yeah.
You just cannot make a game that is going to be good enough to justify the wait. And so no matter what they do, people will be pissed. And that's kind of why they didn't do it for the longest time. They just went, no. So Quake was cool. Definitely. Especially with 9 Inch Nails.
Dude, the 9 Inch Nails soundtrack is the best. I was playing Fallout 4 when it first came out, and then they did console mods, so you could get mods on your Xbox. And I downloaded 9 Inch Nails radio station, and that was the best thing that ever happened to that game.
I actually found the cool thing with Quake was that once the music was playing, you could actually and you were in the game, you could actually take out the disc and put in any other CD you want.
Yeah.
And it would just play in the game. So you could put in ABBA. You could be running around shooting with ABBA, money, 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 bang. That was pretty cool. Not that I had ABBA discs.
But back then it was a laser disc, wasn't it?
Fuck you.
I remember it was the original Xbox when they came out. I think we talked about this on Friday too. But it had a hard drive that was installed. It was the first, console with a hard drive installed because everything else was memory cards, even PlayStation, you know. And then I remember it was the most intuitive thing I've ever seen because you could put a fucking a CD in there, and if you're connected to the internet, it would download what the CD name and all the titles of tracks are. And I don't remember how big it is off the top of my head, but it felt endless. I put over 50 CDs on that Xbox, and I'd just be playing music at the same time of playing video games. And that's the best thing that they ever did, I think, with consoles and shit like that. They have it now to where you can on the Xbox, I don't know about PlayStation, but on the Xbox you can stream Pandora in the background. So you can play your games and then also stream music at the same time.
Yeah, Tick begins, you're absolutely right. Steam is such a moneymaker for them. They've almost given up making games. I can't remember the last thing they've done. Which is why I say that this new Half-Life thing, it's kind of a cash grab. It's to promote the Steam hardware rather than being a decent game. But yeah, I can't remember the last time they came out with a decent game.
Oh, also, Shannon says that if you put the Quake CD in your CD player, you can listen to the soundtrack from track 2 onwards. Oh, yeah, that's one thing that just reminded me of, since we're talking about nostalgic talk on video games. Back when a PlayStation 1 was around, and I don't know if you played anything back then, Legion, with it, but there's this game called Jet Moto. And it's basically the hover bikes or whatever. I know they did a real big marketing push here, so you may not have seen it. I don't know if they did it international. Anyways, so they used to have music on it, right? Whether it's original music or it was music that they paid artists to use. Long story short, on the old PlayStation CDs, I remember that you could do this if you put your the game in your CD player, and then from he said in the chat, from track 2 on, it was actually the soundtrack to the game because it was a sound file, so you could play it like a normal CD.
Cool.
Oh, and then Jason in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was never a big PlayStation. Kind of avoided consoles for a long period of time. I was consoles going way back at Atari 2600, Amiga Vision, or not Amiga Vision.
ColecoVision.
ColecoVision. Nintendo, of course, and various levels of Nintendo up to the Cube. And then I just kind of stopped with consoles and focused on PCs for the longest time. And I really haven't gone back to consoles at all. Literally since the GameCube. They're around. I've played them in people's houses occasionally. Kids have had a few, but yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Tom in the chat just threw out that Twisted Metal from PlayStation 1 was the shit. So you said he didn't really fuck with PlayStation too much, but back then it was a game where it was it was a destruction derby thing, but each car was differently themed to the character that was supposed to be driving it. So it was like an ice cream truck where the ice cream on top would turn to a rocket launcher, and then you'd blow each other up and all that stuff. Man, we don't have games like that anymore, and those old games are the fucking shit. Those were the best kind of games.
Remember there was a game, was it N64? The one before that, Uni Racers. My nieces got it for Christmas, and I spent all of Christmas break sitting there. I'm controller 1, fuck you. You can sit next to me. You beat 2. And basically, you are a unicycle.
Yeah.
You're not a person riding a unicycle. You are a unicycle. And there's just this stupid track, and you could choose a racetrack or a trick track. You would get extra points for doing tricks, but you would also gain extra speed. So you jump in the air and do a twist, and then do it this way. But if you fucked up your thing, you'd land on the side and skid, and you'd lose speed. Stupidest fucking game, right? But literally just spent hours and hours trying to master those tricks and beat my nieces, who were 7.
So who won? You or the niece?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Always me.
Just making sure.
Because they were 7.
You never know. Nowadays, you were saying though, the unicycle game, it's just goofy fun. You're going around. if you didn't think Goofy Fun Games were still around, there's a fucking game that goes around. I don't know if it's on PlayStation because I don't play like PlayStation because I'm not mentally handicapped. But there's I throw that out in the chat. But there's a game called Goat Simulator, and so basically it's like you know what Grand Theft Auto is, right? The premise, it's a giant open world sandbox.
Yeah.
It's that, but you're a goat. And so you can like turn on different mods and you can run up walls and like butt people or drive a car as a goat. And so if you like, just to let you know, stupid games or like stupid fun games are still out there, you know.
I walked in, my stepson. He's 16. He's in the other room. He's playing Grand Theft Auto or something. Grand Theft Auto, that's what he's playing. And he's just. I walk in and some guy shoots him in the head. So I sit down and go, "What the fuck is it? You suck at this game." Like, I can't play this shit, right? But you suck at this game.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's walking. He's not in a car, and he takes like 5 steps, and the same guy pops in and shoots him in the head. And then he respawns a block away, and he looks around, and he runs across the road to try and get a car, and the guy comes with his car and drives over him. And I sat for 20 minutes watching him play, and literally all that would happen was he would spawn somewhere, and the guy would come and fucking kill him, just over and over and over. It's just like fucking hilarious watching him just get churned non-stop. Couldn't get away from the guy.
That's the worst part, that you brought up the one game that I am like, I'm sure I get blocked on Facebook here and there for making some comments, but I've never gotten banned more than I have playing Grand Theft Auto. So you know the premise, you know, you basically either you do the missions or you just run around and cause chaos. So they have this thing in there. It's a motorcycle with a jet engine on the back of it, so you can fly and coast. It has low wings, but it has missiles that lock on the targets. So when that came out, I went from just the average nobody, and I'll find if I have a picture somewhere if any of you guys in the chat want to see that game. I went from nobody to 3rd in the world on that rocket, on that bike on every race. But I've also been banned more than anyone else for killing people, just wanton, no regard, nothing, and have been banned so many times that there's this cap that they give you when you get reported so much. It's called a dunce cap, and they put all the bad people, it's basically like prison, together in a lobby. You can't play with the average guy no more. I got banned so much that they gave me a golden one. I didn't know that you could even do that.
See, my thing is, I was always a methodical player. I'm one of those guys, I like a storyline, beginning to end, like Bioshock and shit like that, Half-Life. And I'm one of those guys, go into a room, I'm going to check under every chair, every box. If there's things to break, I'm going to break them all. I gather all my loot and go to the next area. It depends on what the game is. You know, sometimes you got to map out an area first and then come back, kill everyone, all that shit. So I'm a very methodical player. So Quake was awesome. I enjoyed Quake. There's a little bit of fast movement required, but you kind of map out each area and just kind of work your way through. Quake 2 was awesome. Quake 3, Arena, pretty much only online. Really no storyline, no mission. Just go in, shoot people. And yeah, so biggest waste of fucking money for me ever. I load that thing up. It takes for fucking ever to get all that game on the computer. Look online. It's like, okay, let's figure out what this is about. And yeah, the game's only been out like a week, right? Yeah. And I just, same as my friend or my stepson, just could not move. I take 2 steps, I'm dead. I respawn, I take 5 steps, I'm dead. I respawn, I'm on top of a ledge, I fall and die. It went for like 2 hours. I'm like, fuck this, delete. Never playing it again. Never have. Fucking hate online games because there's too many poachers and too many campers and fucking kids that are just better than me. So fuck that. I just want fucking Half-Life.
Yeah.
You know, go in, break stuff, look under some doors, figure out some clues, get to the end, maybe ride a nice little Jeep or something.
Yeah, so you would hate me then on Grand Theft Auto, because on that rocket bike, man, I'm a bully. I fly around. Well, if you provoke me now. But, like, you can... But anyways, I just fly around, and you can just blow stuff up. And that's why I get that the golden dunce cap and all that stuff. But yeah, online gaming definitely changed it. So if you were to ever get into gaming again on a console, I'd suggest something like Elder Scrolls. They have Skyrim and stuff. It's kind of like... Imagine... like Lord of the Rings without the hobbits, and then you can use magic or swords, like medieval, you know?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, my stepson's got it. He went through the whole thing and all the editions and all that. He's got the book and all that shit. He was big on Elder Scrolls for fucking a long time, actually.
Yeah, the game's been out for a long time.
Now he plays Destiny, which I watch and I go, this is, I would never play this.
Dude, that's the worst game.
I'm glad he enjoys it, but it's everything I don't like about gaming.
It's all online and it's all grinding.
Yeah. They had some sort of contest recently, an in-game thing. You had to solve a puzzle. Everyone around the world working at this. He comes through all sad. He's like, we've solved the puzzle. And the present was a plasma gun. This fucking sucks. It's like, all that work for nothing.
Alright. So, let's go ahead. We're about to hit an hour. And let's do the giveaway. You guys start throwing X1s in the chat. And we'll be giving away the red one. Just so you guys know, it's a 21700, 2700, whatever the bigger battery is. So if you got 18650s, which most of you guys probably have some gear, you'll need a sleeve. But other than that, it's not a squonk. It's a mod, and it has... Well, of course it's a mod. Anyways. So if I had a battery, I'd put it in. Anyways, when you're using it, you can turn the little thing off. It lights up blue. And then it has your adjustments on the side and all that good stuff.
There is a review somewhere on my channel for that. And as hesitant as I am to say good things about Desire, these days, wasn't a bad little device. Pair with a nice sub-ohm tank, and you're rocking for a while.
Yeah. And that was, well, shoot, I was doing their social media for them back when, like, it was right after these first came out. So these were pretty solid. And I'm sure you guys know about, like, the whole issues that everyone was having with the rages and stuff like that. I've never seen complaints on these. And then we give you no guarantee because it's free. So. Also,
yeah, I find it interesting, too. I had my little moment with them, and there was all that. I haven't seen them since then. Like, I haven't seen a product. I haven't seen their name. I haven't seen a single thing come out. I'm going to check out this thing. Are they still around? Do they still exist?
Yeah, actually, it was funny because when I got this stuff to give away on here, I went and I checked. I was like, oh, I'm going to go look on their page and see if they're still stealing people's product photos. And now it's like really badly ran social media. Like, you can tell it's totally like, you know, it's foreign, so I get the whole language difference. But it's just like, yeah. Happy Monday, Tuesday, how you like vape? Yes, buy now? Like...
I get the feeling that they've sort of given up on the international market and just focusing on the Asian market because they just couldn't handle how things work outside of that world.
Yeah. Yeah, Jingles ain't fucking around. That fool's got his X1 on paste.
Fuck yeah.
I know he's been waiting too because I know he watches the show every chance he gets and stuff, but he was like, all right, I won those things. I can't do that for a while. But boom, came in right time. Cause
So Joshua was saying that he plays Fallout 76.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed Fallout 4, which, weird thing, my stepson bought it, but it was on my Steam account, so we both had it. And I played it, and then he played it, but Steam's weird, and it's not good to share an account, so I literally gave my account to him. So I have no games now. I gave him everything. All my history, all my Half-Lives, they're all his. And, yeah. But I was really kind of tempted by Fallout 76. I know I got a lot of flack, but,
So if you don't like the online aspect... you won't like it. It's purely online. And so at first, when it first came out, I'm a diehard Fallout fan. I got like 15 pieces of memorabilia on my wall. Oh, pay it forward. Got it. Never mind. I can't speak. Anyways, so the first few are like, you know, it's RPG, and I loved it. If you liked 4, you should get New Vegas. We'll talk after the show on that a little bit. Anyways, so 76 came out, and they made it open world, you know. Basically, it's what you do on a Fallout game when everything, you beat the missions, because there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's no NPCs. It's all human players. So it's like, all right, cool, it's different. You know, everyone wanted an online Fallout game so you could play with your buddies. Long story short, and when they first released it, you can attack everyone without like wanting to be a fighter or nothing like that, right? You want to be a passive when you play. But they made it like you could get bullied, you get picked on, you could kill people. They finally changed it a couple months later to where if someone shoots you, it gives you the option to attack them back, or you just leave it alone and they can't hurt you. But basically, it's just a big bullying game. People will like they found so many exploits. Like I know they fixed it recently, but now like if you kill someone, right, and then like drop all their loot, if they stole it or whatever, that's okay because it was on your body, but you had a stash box where you kept all your stuff in your main base. And then they went and they did something and it got so buggy that someone could walk up to your base because it's open like that, and they just steal all your stuff. And then like you couldn't get all your stuff back, and you're spending hours playing this to get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sucks. But if you like, if you don't like online, I wouldn't suggest that. But if you want to try a Fallout game since you like 4, if you want an intricate story that's fucking beautiful and makes me cry every time, New Vegas. Graphics it's a 10-year-old game, so the graphics aren't great. But if you play it on the PC on Steam, it's amazing. Dude, over 6,500 lines of dialogue.
Not bad.
Matthew Perry plays one of the main characters too, the guy from Friends. I know that's probably not that appealing to you, but it's.
That's it. It's got Chandler in there. Like I could be any more impressed.
Could I be any more? No. That's my favorite character from both. But yeah. So, anyways. Yeah. So that's a fun one, and it's also based in Las Vegas and a little bit of California, and they did a really good job to scale of how they did it. So that whole home nostalgia shit.
See, I think they should do Half-Life 5 in Australia.
That would be bitchin'.
All the Australian wildlife.
That would be cool.
In that world would be fucked up, totally fucked up. You'd have like giant koalas coming through that.
Coming through and fucking
giant radioactive, fucking you up. Yeah. You'd be walking along and like koalas would be like falling, or not, kangaroos would be falling from the sky and squishing you flat.
Josh in the chat says on Fallout on 76, he's level 309, so really can't die. Yeah, so you could get to level 6 or 7 where like other people can't hurt you, but once you get to like level 8, people can hurt you, and you'd have guys like him at that level, which is like God shitting on you, coming in and smashing up your base and destroying all your stuff. And Mowgli in the chat says Duke Nukem. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I might just stay away from it.
Yeah.
New Bioshock. I heard rumors about that, but I'm not sure. I remember when they did the last one, the guy who created the whole thing, he's like, I'm done, the story is done, I've done everything I need to do. But, yeah, exactly, drop bears and Fallout.
Yeah, nope.
But yeah, I'd be down for a new Bioshock, especially if they went back to what they were doing in 1. 3 was okay, it kind of got a bit weird at the end, and had some weird shit going on. I enjoyed it, but not as much as 1 and 2.
And alright guys, go ahead, stop it on those X1s, and then we'll have the giveaway. But yeah, it's supposed to be in the works, the new Bioshock. To be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Bioshock, but it was a good series. They're also, for the game heads in here, I know Legion won't know this, but they're talking about another Mass Effect. And I don't know where they're going to go with it yet, but if any of you played the original series of Mass Effect, oh my god, dude, that game was beautiful. The graphics were pretty good, but like the stories behind it, and it's like, imagine Star Trek, but you get to be a little bit more aggressive, and people are trying to like invade the universe. But yeah, now I'm just stoned ranting. Yelling at you guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and stir these X1s in the randomizer, and you guys can hear my dogs, I'm sorry. Alright.
That's a lot of X1s.
Yeah. Copy. And then paste, and then list randomizer. Alright, Legion, choose a number between 1 and 528.
69.
16. Dude, I knew you were gonna do that one. And it is actually Becky Buck Wild.
Whoa! Sorry, Jangles. I tried. I really tried. I thought you were in there.
You know what, Jangles? Since you're such a nice guy, hold on, I'm grabbing something. I'll shoot you this M tank right here. It's another desired product. It comes with a coil, but anyways, it's just a little top sliding fill tank, and I have a bunch of them. So,
if I remember correctly, that is a Baby Beast compatible, so you can throw in a huge amount of coil, so you're not stuck to what came in the box.
But yeah, so there you go, Jangles. Your doo-doo head. But yeah, Becky, shoot me your info again, and I don't think you can win for another 3 years.
See, you can't do that. You start cutting people out, then we'll have no one in the giveaway. Like one person doing X1, and then next week they're fucked because they won.
Yeah. Nah, we haven't done any 2 serious giveaways. I think the last few we had before, like the last one, it was different people. We had some new people join in and stuff, and they talk in the chat every here and there. But they, they're showing, so that's cool. But also, if you guys haven't noticed, we're almost to 400 subs. We're 30 away, which is fucking insane because we haven't even been a year yet. We haven't even been a year yet.
No.
But yeah,
it's not bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, our interaction during the lives isn't that great because, we're a new channel, we're still growing, but we do appreciate every single one of you guys here. We do get a lot of people that catch replays and stuff. So, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys. Because I know you guys share it. Mowgli shares our stuff in the Facebook and stuff like that. And then Shannon and Dale's a new guy that's watching. Also, by the way, since we got the time, I'll say it real fast. On Friday, it's gonna be an Australian takeover on the channel. It's gonna be the Tick Begins with me as well as Dale in the chat, and they're 2 Australians that are with us in that shit posting group on Facebook. So Friday's gonna get probably a little crazy.
As usual.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Lou in the chat that it's always entertaining show. He likes it when Paul's on as well. Yeah. Labworks, we gotta figure that out. Get Labworks back on there, but Labworks has been on there with me a couple times. He's been on here with us on this show on Mondays too. And then I can't speak for him right now, but I'm pretty sure Breezetones might be able to make it next Monday. He's handling stuff,
Hopefully next Monday.
Yeah. Or else you guys are stuck with us again.
No, not just us again. Gotta figure out where in the world he will be. I'm not sure what his travel itinerary is at this point.
Yeah, and I'm not that good of a friend to remember when he told us, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll close the show out here. Thank you guys so much for coming by. We hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And Legion, you got any closing thoughts?
Buttholes.
Buttholes. And you know what? I'll just go with that too. That's why I imagine it looks like a new vape in a butthole. But anyways, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you on Friday.